Hi there, I'm Ash Cooper, and I'll be your host as we profile the people and places that live in the heartland of the West. So join us as we journey into cowboy country.
We meet well-rounded cowboy poet and singer Ed Brown.
I hung up my rigging some years ago, headed down a different road. Where it ends I still don't know, but no matter how far I go, no matter who I get to know, most of my best friends are still cowboys.
I always wanted to be a cowboy all my life, and I started working on the racetrack. That was the first horse job I had, and I worked there for about 6 or 7 years. Ran into some friends from there, and we started rodeoing, and I got into that. I did that for several years. I was kind of a late bloomer with music. I'd been kind of playing all my life and writing songs, but I didn't really start performing till I was in my 30s. And then in the late 80s, I started competitive carving was completely wrapped up in that for about 10 years. And it was just by a complete accident I stumbled over these cowboy poetry gatherings. An old friend of mine, a cowboy friend, had been invited to this gathering in Brandon, Manitoba, and he asked me why don't I come down and sing a couple of these songs? So I did. And it was the first time I was able to sing my original cowboy songs to an audience that not only appreciated it, but knew what I was talking about. You know, so I got hooked on it.
We all need a place to go when the line gets too hard to toe, a place where hearts are true and skies are clear.
You know, you have to have a life before you can do this stuff. And I guess that's why a lot of the really good poets are older, because they've got a lot more. And I don't think you really sit and consciously try to remember stories, or it just comes out of your kind of subconscious almost or something.
Most of my best friends are still cowboys.
Ed, he is a rodeo cowboy from way back, and he comes at this from a little bit of a different perspective than I do, but I've taken him in the hills with me a number of times, and I think he enjoys where I go just as much as I do. He's just a wonderful guitar player, and he knows all kinds of tricks that a lot of other people want to know. But probably more than anything that I see is he is a remarkable poet and writes tremendous poetry. And he has way too much time to be thoughtful.
I look at it as a story, though. It has to have a beginning, a middle, and an end.
He can really think things through good.
A mother is startled by the voice of her child, running through her brain like a silent scream.
One of the things that would set me apart probably is the fact that I do equally poetry and song, and also that I do all original material. By doing original material, I'm not going to be compared with the last guy that did The Streets of Laredo or something, you know.
Ed Brown, what can I say about Ed Brown that I haven't written in my diary? I love flirting with Ed Brown.
In the far northwest, he rode for the best. A backcountry guide was his trade. To his duty he would tend right to the bitter end of the last ride he ever made.
People have no idea of what that man's accomplished in his life. I mean, he is a world-class carver. He's in the Manitoba Rodeo Hall of Fame, a fabulous bronc rider in his day, gifted writer, gifted singer, gifted guitar player, and it's all created by this man who you would never know has these kind of talents. I mean, he's never, there's not a brag bone in his body. And he's such a gift when he steps up to the microphone and all of a sudden it's this glorious performance and you just get lost in his world. He's wonderful.
A mother is startled by the voice of her child running through her brain like a silent scream.
15 years ago, I even said to myself, if I die tomorrow, I got nothing to complain about. And things have just got way better since then, so.
Thank you very much.